The pocket watch ticked in Nathan Cross's jacket. Loud, insistent, a reminder that time kept moving whether you were ready or not. 9:47 p.m. 1 hour and 47 minutes late. Nathan stood beside the punch bowl at the Sentinel Hotel's grand ballroom, watching couples glide across the dance floor beneath 1,000 twinkling Christmas lights. His new shirt collar felt stiff, uncomfortable. Lily had picked it out 3 days ago at Nordstrom, holding the deep blue fabric against his chest with her small hands. "This one, Daddy. It makes your eyes look like the ocean." He'd spent a week's grocery money on it. The babysitter was charging holiday rates, double time after 10 p.m. His phone buzzed. "Can't make it. Work emergency. Sorry, Nathan. No explanation, no real apology. Just another reminder that dating as a single father meant disappointment served with a side of eggnog." Nathan pocketed his phone and reached for the watch again. The metal was warm now, worn smooth by his father's fingers first, then his own. He didn't check the time. He just held it. An anchor. "You've been staring at that phone like it might transform into something more interesting." The voice came from behind him. Female. Familiar. Spoiler alert, it won't. Nathan turned. Victoria Ashford stood 3 feet away in a dress the color of dark wine. Her blonde hair fell loose over bare shoulders. The kind of woman who commanded boardrooms and made grown men nervous during quarterly reviews. She was his boss. The CEO of Ashford Media Group. The person who signed his paychecks and occasionally terrorized the marketing department. Ms. Ashford. He straightened automatically. "Just checking on the babysitter." Liar. Her smile didn't reach her eyes. "And it's Victoria tonight. We're at a party, James, not a board meeting." She called him James, his middle name, the one printed on his company ID badge because Nathan Cross sounded too casual for editorial credits. Before he could respond, her expression changed. The confident CEO vanished. Something raw flickered across her face. Fear, real and immediate. Victoria's gaze fixed on the ballroom entrance. Nathan followed it. A man in an expensive suit had just walked in. Late 50s, silver hair. The kind of presence that made other people step aside without realizing why. 2 associates flanked him like well-dressed guards. Victoria moved closer. Her perfume hit him first. Jasmine and something darker. Expensive. "I need a husband," she whispered. Her breath was warm against his ear. 2 hours, please say yes." Nathan blinked. The Christmas music seemed suddenly very loud. "I'm sorry, what? That man?" Victoria's voice was tight, controlled. "Richard Harrington. Biggest potential investor we've ever had. He's also my ex-fiancé's father." She wasn't looking at Nathan anymore. Her eyes tracked Harrington across the room. "He thinks I'm married now because I may have exaggerated certain aspects of my life to convince him I've moved on completely." The words came out fast. Desperate. "Please, James, I've seen how you are with your daughter. You're the only person here I trust to pull this off." Nathan should have said no. He had strict policies about office entanglements. He had Lily to think about. He had a heart that had been broken enough times to know better. But Victoria was shaking. Not from cold, from fear. And he recognized that feeling. The trapped animal panic of being cornered by someone who held power over your life. "What's our story?" he heard himself ask. Relief flooded Victoria's face. Her shoulders dropped an inch. "Married 18 months. Met at a book reading. You edit crime fiction. I fell for your quiet strength." She reached into her clutch and pulled out a gold band. "Follow my lead on the details." The ring was warm, recently worn. "Ready, husband." Nathan slipped the band onto his finger. It fit perfectly. "One condition," he said quietly. "When this is over, you tell me the truth. All of it." Victoria met his eyes. Something passed between them, an understanding. Deal. She threaded her arm through his. The touch was light, practiced, but her pulse hammered against his wrist. Nathan straightened his shoulders, checked his reflection in the mirrored column beside them. He looked like a man attending a Christmas party with his wife. Normal, unremarkable. Exactly what they needed. They stepped into the crowd together. Nathan kept his hand at the small of Victoria's back. Light pressure. Protective without being possessive. She leaned into him slightly, playing the part, or maybe not playing at all. Across the room, Richard Harrington's gaze found them. His eyes narrowed. Calculating. The game had begun. If you're enjoying this Christmas mystery, drop a comment below, letting me know what country you're watching from. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories like this one. Richard Harrington moved through the crowd like a shark through shallow water. Purposeful, unhurried. People parted without realizing why. His wife followed a step behind. Diane Harrington wore diamonds the way other women wore perfume. Liberally, a warning. Victoria. Richard's voice carried warmth that didn't match his eyes. How wonderful to see you. He kissed her cheek. European style, possessive. Nathan felt Victoria tense against his side. Her smile stayed fixed. Richard, Diane, Merry Christmas. Victoria's hand found Nathan's, squeezed once, hard. I'd like you to meet my husband, Nathan Cross. Nathan extended his free hand. Richard's grip was firm, deliberate. The handshake lasted 3 seconds too long. Husband, Richard tasted the word. How delightful. I wasn't aware you'd remarried Victoria. 18 months now. Nathan's voice was steady, easy. Best decision I ever made. Diane's gaze swept over him, assessing, cataloging, finding him ordinary. And what is it you do, Nathan? I'm an editor. Crime fiction mostly. He glanced at Victoria. We met at a reading, actually, Powell's books. How romantic. Diane's smile was knife-sharp. Richard and I met at a charity auction. He bought a Monet that evening, and my attention. I've always been good at acquiring valuable things. Richard hadn't stopped watching Victoria. Wouldn't you agree, my dear? The subtext was thick enough to choke on. Shall we sit? Victoria gestured toward a nearby table. I'm starving. Dinner was slow torture dressed up as small talk. The ballroom staff had decorated each table with miniature snow globes as centerpieces. White flakes suspended in glass. Perfect little worlds that never changed. Nathan noticed Victoria staring at hers, her expression unreadable. So, Diane dabbed her mouth with a napkin. Red lipstick left a perfect mark on white linen. Tell us about the proposal. I do love a good love story. Victoria's fork paused halfway to her mouth. Nathan picked up his wine glass, bought himself 3 seconds. I'd actually planned something elaborate, he said. Dinner at Kennard, flowers, the whole production. But Victoria saw right through it. Oh, Richard leaned forward slightly. She told me later she knew something was coming because I'd ironed my shirt. Nathan smiled. I never iron. Victoria laughed. The sound was surprised, real. So I changed tactics, Nathan continued. Took her back to Powell's where we first met. Asked the owner for help. Help with what? Diane was hooked now despite herself. Creating a custom book, our story, how we met, our first argument, the night she told me about her father passing. Nathan's voice softened on the last part. He was making it up, but it felt true. Every chapter was us. Victoria's hand found his under the table. Her fingers were cold. And on the last page, Nathan said, Instead of "the end," it said, "Will you make this story ours?" Silence stretched across the table. She cried. Nathan looked at Victoria. Her eyes were bright. I'd never seen her cry before. I did not cry. Victoria's protest was automatic, then softer. Well, maybe a little. A lot, Nathan insisted. Mascara everywhere. The store owner had to bring tissues. Their eyes held. Something shifted in the space between them. The lie was becoming easier to believe than the truth. How cinematic. Richard's voice cut through the moment. Almost like something from a novel. Life imitates art, Nathan said evenly. Isn't that what they say? Indeed. Richard sipped his scotch. And children, do you have any, Nathan? A daughter, Lily. She's 7. From a previous marriage. The question was a minefield. My ex-wife and I divorced 3 years ago. Nathan kept his voice neutral. Lily lives with me full-time. And Victoria has taken to the stepmother role. Diane's tone suggested this was unlikely. Victoria spoke before Nathan could. Lily calls me Vic. She decided stepmom sounds too much like a fairy tale villain. Nathan stared at her. That was exactly what Lily would say. Word for word. How did Victoria know that smart child, Richard said. Children often see through pretense better than adults. The comment hung in the air. Loaded. Nathan felt Victoria's grip tighten on his hand. He stroked his thumb across her knuckles. A small gesture. Comforting. Lily's brilliant, he said simply. Takes after her new mom. Victoria's breath caught. The rest of dinner passed in a blur of pointed questions and careful answers. Richard probed. Nathan deflected. Victoria played her part perfectly. The loving wife. The woman who'd moved on. But Nathan saw the cracks. The way her jaw tightened when Richard mentioned old times. The quick glance toward the exit when Diane asked about their honeymoon. She was terrified, and she was very good at hiding it. After dessert, the band started playing. The Christmas waltz drifted through the ballroom. Slow, intimate. Dance with me. Nathan stood and offered his hand. Victoria took it without hesitation. The dance floor was crowded. Bodies swayed beneath the string lights that looked like fallen stars. Nathan pulled Victoria close, one hand at her waist, the other cradling hers against his chest. Thank you, she whispered against his collar. For the Powell story, it was perfect. You're welcome. Nathan guided them into a turn. But you already knew about Lily's fairy tale opinions. How... Victoria pulled back slightly to meet his eyes. I pay attention. To me, to everyone. It's my job. But her cheeks flushed. You talk about her sometimes, in meetings, little comments. The way your voice changes when your phone buzzes during presentations. I didn't think anyone noticed. I notice everything, Nathan. Her voice was soft, almost sad. Especially the people who actually care about something real. They moved together, silent for a moment. The music swelled around them. You're better at this than I expected, Victoria murmured. At dancing, at being present. She rested her head against his shoulder. The gesture felt natural. Most people perform their lives. You actually live yours. Nathan's hand spread wider against her back. Protective. Lily's mom left because she said I was too present. Too focused on what mattered instead of what looked good. Victoria lifted her head. She was an idiot. The fierceness in her voice surprised them both. Sorry, Victoria said quickly. That was true, Nathan smiled. But I appreciate the loyalty. It's not loyalty, it's fact. Her gaze searched his face. You showed up tonight when you didn't have to. When I gave you every reason to walk away. That says everything about who you are. Or it says I'm a terrible judge of appropriate boundaries." Victoria laughed, actually laughed. The sound made something warm unfold in Nathan's chest. "Can I ask you something?" he said. "Depends on the question. Why me? There are 50 people at this party you've known longer. Trust more." Victoria was quiet for 3 full measures of music. "Because, when I asked," she said finally, "you looked at me like I was a person. Not a CEO, not a potential connection, just someone who needed help." She paused. "When's the last time someone did that for you?" Nathan didn't have an answer. The song shifted. Something slower. "Have yourself a merry little Christmas." "My daughter loves this one," Nathan said. "We dance to it every year while decorating the tree. She stands on my feet and makes me spin until we're both dizzy." "That sounds perfect." "It's chaos. There's usually hot chocolate everywhere and at least one broken ornament." "Still perfect." Victoria's voice caught. "My Christmases are silent, catered, everything in its place. Sounds lonely." "It is." The admission seemed to surprise her. Nathan pulled her closer, just slightly. "You could crash ours sometime. Lily would love having someone new to boss around." Victoria smiled against his jacket. "I'd probably ruin it. I don't know how to be casual." "Neither does Lily. She approaches hot chocolate like a military operation. You'd get along great." Victoria started to respond but stopped. Her body went rigid. Nathan followed her gaze. Richard Harrington stood at the edge of the dance floor, watching. His expression was pleasant. His eyes were not. He moved toward them with deliberate steps. "Mind if I cut in?" Richard didn't wait for an answer. His hand was already reaching for Victoria's waist. Nathan felt her flinch. "Actually," Nathan said pleasantly, "we were just finishing this dance." Victoria's smile was bright, brittle. "Of course, Richard." She squeezed Nathan's hand once, hard. A warning or a plea. He couldn't tell which. Nathan stepped back, watched Richard's arm circle Victoria's waist, possessive, too tight. They moved into the crowd. Victoria's face was carefully blank. Nathan's hands curled into fists. He walked to the bar, ordered water, tried not to watch them. Failed. Richard was talking. Quiet words Nathan couldn't hear. Victoria's posture grew stiffer with each passing second. Her smile never wavered, but her eyes were screaming. Nathan checked his pocket watch. 10:37 p.m. He gave them 5 minutes. If Victoria wasn't back by then. 4 minutes passed. Richard and Victoria drifted toward the balcony doors, the ones that led to the outdoor terrace. Private, away from the crowd. Victoria glanced back once. Her gaze found Nathan's. Help. She didn't say it, didn't need to. Nathan counted to 30, then followed. The balcony was cold. Snow fell in lazy spirals. Portland's skyline glittered in the distance, beautiful and indifferent. Nathan heard voices before he saw them. "Still have the photographs, Victoria." Richard's tone was pleasant, conversational. "One phone call and your father's legacy burns. Everything he built, gone. You're bluffing." Victoria's voice shook. Barely. "Those files were destroyed." "Were they?" Richard laughed. "You've always been too trusting, just like William." "Don't say his name." "Your father was weak, sentimental. He actually thought he could walk away from our arrangement." Richard's voice dropped. "That worked out well for him, didn't it?" Nathan's blood went cold. "You," Victoria's voice broke. "You said it was a heart attack." "It was, technically." Richard shrugged. "Stress-induced. Terrible thing. But preventable if he'd just been reasonable. Nathan stepped onto the balcony. His footsteps were loud on stone. Both of them turned. Richard still had Victoria's wrist in his grip. His fingers were white against her skin. "Everything okay out here?" Nathan kept his voice casual. "Easy." But he moved to Victoria's side, put himself between them. "Fine." Richard smiled, released Victoria's wrist slowly, deliberately. "Just catching up, old times." "Funny." Nathan's hand found Victoria's, her pulse hammered against his palm. "She doesn't look like she's enjoying the memories." "Nathan." Victoria's voice was a warning. "It's fine." "Is it?" He looked at her, really looked. "Because you're shaking." "I'm cold." "You're terrified." The word hung in the frigid air. Richard's pleasant mask slipped, just for a second. What Nathan saw underneath made his stomach drop. This man was dangerous. "Your husband seems protective," Richard said to Victoria. His gaze never left Nathan. "How sweet. We should get back to the party." Nathan tugged Victoria gently towards the door. "I believe they're announcing the ugly sweater contest." "Of course." Richard pulled a silver case from his pocket, selected a business card, offered it to Nathan. "Call me sometime. We should discuss your future at Ashford Media. I'm always interested in acquisitions." The threat was clear. Nathan took the card, met Richard's eyes. "I'm not for sale." "Everyone's for sale, Mr. Cross." Richard lit a cigarette. The flame cast shadows across his face. "It's just a matter of finding the right price. Come on." Victoria pulled Nathan toward the door. "Please." They left Richard on the balcony, smoke curling into snowfall, watching. Inside, the party continued. Laughter and music and people who had no idea what had just happened. Victoria didn't stop walking. She moved through the crowd like she was drowning, desperate for air. Nathan followed. She pushed through a side exit, into a service hallway, then another door. They ended up in the parking garage, concrete and shadow and the distant hum of holiday traffic. Victoria leaned against Nathan's car. Her breath came in short gasps. "Hey!" Nathan stepped close, not touching, just present. "You're okay. You're safe." "I'm not." Victoria's voice cracked. "I'm so far from safe you have no idea." "Then tell me." Nathan pulled off his jacket, draped it over her shoulders. "Tell me what's really happening." Victoria looked at him. Her mascara had smudged. Her perfect composure had shattered. She looked real. "I need to show you something." She reached into her clutch, pulled out a small object, a USB drive. "This," she said quietly, "is why Richard Harrington can never know you're not actually my husband." Nathan stared at the drive, then at Victoria. "What's on it?" "Everything." Her hands shook. "Every crime, every payment, every person he's destroyed." She looked up. Her eyes were wet. "Including proof of how he killed my father." The world tilted. Nathan had walked into this evening expecting disappointment and cheap eggnog. Instead, he was standing in a parking garage holding evidence of murder. "Victoria." He didn't know what to say. "I'm working with the FBI." The words tumbled out. "Have been for 2 years. Tonight was supposed to be the final piece. Get Richard on tape admitting everything. But he found the wire during our dance. Destroyed it." She gestured helplessly at the USB drive. "This is Plan B. But if he knows I have someone he can't control, someone outside his influence..." Victoria's voice broke. "He'll kill you too, just like my father." Nathan should have walked away, should have put his daughter first, should have run. Instead, he took the USB drive. "What do you need me to do?" The USB drive was small, insignificant looking. The kind of thing you'd lose in a junk drawer. Nathan turned it over in his palm. The plastic was warm from Victoria's clutch, or maybe from the secrets it held. "How long have you known?" his voice echoed in the concrete garage. "About Richard, about your father." Victoria slid down the side of his car until she was sitting on the cold ground. Her red dress pooled around her like spilled wine. She looked exhausted. 3 years, right after Dad died. She pulled her knees up, wrapped her arms around them. "I was going through his office, found a locked drawer I'd never noticed before. Inside was a ledger, handwritten, pages and pages of transactions that didn't match our official books." Nathan sat beside her. The concrete was freezing through his dress pants. He didn't care. "At first I thought Dad was embezzling, that maybe the stress of hiding it caused the heart attack." Victoria's laugh was bitter. "I actually felt relieved, like at least it made sense. But it wasn't embezzlement. No, it was money laundering. Millions moving through shell companies, fake acquisitions, ghost employees." Her voice went flat, clinical. "Ashford Media was clean on the surface. Underneath, we were washing money for Richard's real business, which is everything illegal you can imagine. Drug trafficking, weapons, human cargo." Victoria's jaw clenched. "Richard built an empire on suffering, and my father helped him do it." Nathan let that sink in. The party continued 3 floors above them. People drinking and dancing and having no idea that a man in their midst had blood on his hands. "Your father wanted out," Nathan said quietly. It wasn't a question. Victoria nodded. "I found emails, drafts he never sent. He was going to the FBI, had already made contact with an agent, Sarah Reeves." She looked at Nathan, her eyes were red. "The heart attack happened 2 days before their scheduled meeting." Jesus. The coroner said it was natural causes, stress-induced cardiac arrest. Dad had high blood pressure, a family history. Victoria's voice cracked. "Everyone believed it, even me." "For 6 months. What changed? I hired a private investigator just to give myself closure. To understand why Dad was so stressed." She wiped her eyes. Mascara came away on her fingers. "The PI found security footage from Dad's office building. The night before he died, Richard visited. They argued. The PI could read lips through the window." Nathan's stomach dropped. "What did Richard say? 'You'll never leave. Not alive.'" Victoria's voice was barely a whisper. The next morning, Dad collapsed at his desk. Alone. By the time his secretary found him, it was too late. How did Richard do it? "I don't know for certain. The medical examiner I hired thinks it could have been digitalis, a plant toxin that mimics heart attack symptoms. Undetectable unless you're specifically looking for it." Victoria pulled Nathan's jacket tighter around her shoulders. "And no one was looking. Why would they?" Snow fell through the parking garage's open levels. Soft, relentless. "That's when you went to the FBI," Nathan said. "A week after I found the footage. Agent Reeves confirmed Dad had contacted them. She was devastated when he died. Blamed herself for not moving faster." Victoria stood slowly, paced. Her heels clicked on concrete. She asked if I'd be willing to continue what Dad started. Gather evidence, build a case. For 2 years, 26 months, 3 weeks, 4 days. Victoria stopped pacing. "Do you know what it's like to smile at the man who murdered your father, to let him kiss your cheek at company events, to pretend everything's fine while he's threatening to destroy everything you love?" Nathan stood. Moved to her. "You're the bravest person I've ever met. I'm terrified every single day." Bravery isn't not being scared. It's being scared and doing it anyway. Victoria looked at him like she was seeing him for the first time. Lily's lucky to have you. I'm the lucky one. She's the only reason I'm still standing after my divorce. What happened, if you don't mind me asking? Nathan leaned against the car. Rachel wanted the life that looked good in photos. Perfect house, perfect job, perfect family. He smiled sadly. I wanted the life that felt good when the cameras were off. Burnt pancakes on Saturday morning. Bedtime stories that run too long. Being present instead of performing. She left you for that. She left me for a corporate lawyer who works 80-hour weeks and takes her to charity galas. Nathan shrugged. I got full custody. Lily was 5. Didn't even cry when Rachel moved out. That's how I knew I'd made the right choice fighting for her. Victoria's expression softened. You really do show up. For the people who matter. So do you. You've been showing up every day for 2 years, fighting for your father, for justice. Tonight was supposed to end it. Victoria's voice broke. I was wearing a wire, state-of-the-art, hidden in my necklace. Richard was supposed to confess on tape, threaten me, give us everything we needed for an arrest warrant. But he found it during the dance. He's careful, always has been. Victoria reached up, touched her bare neck. The necklace was gone. He palmed it while we were talking, crushed it under his shoe. Smiled the whole time, said, "Nice try, darling, but I taught you better than that." Nathan's fists clenched. We go to the FBI now. Tonight, give them the USB. It's not enough on its own. The files are encrypted, coded. Richard made sure everything looks legitimate on the surface. We need context, testimony, a confession. Victoria's shoulders sagged. Without the recording, all we have is circumstantial evidence. His lawyers would tear it apart. Then what do we do? Victoria reached into Nathan's jacket pocket, the one she was wearing, pulled out a snow globe, the centerpiece from their dinner table. She unscrewed the base. Water drained onto the concrete. Inside was a hollow compartment. Plan B, she said quietly. She placed the USB drive inside the globe, sealed it. The white flakes swirled around the plastic chip like a blizzard. This has everything: transaction records, shell company formations, communications between Richard and his distributors. Victoria handed the globe to Nathan. There are also voice recordings, conversations I captured over 2 years when Richard thought he was safe, talking to his associates, making threats. You've been recording him the whole time, with FBI knowledge and consent. One-party recording is legal in Oregon as long as I'm part of the conversation. Victoria's smile was grim. I've been very thorough about being part of conversations. Nathan held the snow globe carefully. This could put him away. For life. Multiple life sentences, probably. Victoria took a shaky breath. But if he knows I have it, if he knows I'm about to turn it over... She didn't finish. Didn't need to. Why give it to me? Nathan asked. You barely know me. Because Richard doesn't know you. You're not in our world. Not on his radar. Victoria met his eyes. And because 2 hours ago you agreed to be my husband without asking what you'd get in return, that tells me everything I need to know about your character. Nathan looked at the snow globe, at Victoria, at the situation spiraling beyond anything he'd imagined when he put on his new shirt that evening. What happens now? I need you to keep that safe, just for tonight. Victoria checked her phone. 11:17 p.m. There's one more thing I have to do. One last chance to get Richard on record. Victoria, no, it's too dangerous. I'll be in public, at the Columbia Tower Observatory. Richard texted me during our dance, wants to discuss our future away from the party. He thinks he's won. Her jaw set. I'm going to wear a different wire. One he won't find. and I'm going to get him to confess. This is insane. This is my last shot. Victoria gripped his arms. Fierce. Desperate. Agent Reeves will have surveillance. FBI will be close. If anything goes wrong, they'll intervene. I need you to trust me, Nathan, the way I trusted you tonight. Nathan wanted to argue. Wanted to throw her in his car and drive to the FBI field office and hand over the USB and let them handle it. But he looked at her face, saw the determination, the grief, the absolute need to finish what her father started. Okay, he said quietly, but I want insurance. What kind? Meet me after. St. John's Bridge, midnight. If you're not there by 12:30, he held up the snow globe. I take this straight to Agent Reeves. Victoria nodded. Deal. And Victoria, if this goes wrong, if Richard suspects anything... Nathan's voice hardened. I'm calling the FBI immediately. I don't care about evidence or cases or justice. I care about you walking away alive. Understood? Something in her expression cracked. No one's ever what? Chosen me over the mission, the company, the greater good. Tears spilled over. Everyone always says the work is too important, that I'm too important, but no one's ever just said they want me safe. Nathan pulled her into his arms. She collapsed against his chest. 2 years of fear and pretending and carrying impossible weight alone finally breaking through. You're important to me, he said into her hair. Not the CEO, not the mission. You. Victoria pulled back, looked up at him. Her makeup was ruined. Her carefully styled hair was falling loose. She'd never looked more beautiful. If this works, she whispered, if I make it to that bridge, ask me to dinner, a real one. When this works, not if. Nathan, he cupped her face, thumbs brushing away tears. Promise me you'll be careful. Promise me you'll run if things go bad. I promise. She stood on her toes, pressed her lips to his. The kiss was soft, desperate, full of things neither of them could say. When she pulled away, Nathan's heart was hammering. Midnight, Victoria said. St. John's Bridge. I'll be there. She pulled off his jacket, handed it back, straightened her dress. In seconds, the CEO mask slid back into place, professional, composed, but her eyes were still wet. Thank you, she said. For showing up, for being real, she stopped. Just thank you. Then she was walking away, heels clicking, back straight, headed toward whatever came next. Nathan watched until she disappeared around a concrete pillar. Then he looked at the snow globe in his hands, at the USB drive suspended in fake snow, at the evidence that could destroy a murderer or get them both killed. His phone buzzed. Lily's awake. Bad dream. Asking for you. The babysitter. Reality crashing back. Nathan checked his watch. 11:34 p.m. He had 26 minutes to get home, comfort his daughter, and figure out how to explain why he was standing in a parking garage holding the weight of someone else's war. The drive home took 14 minutes. Portland's streets were quiet. Christmas lights blurred past, red and green and gold. The world pretending everything was magical. His apartment was warm, smelled like the pine candle Lily insisted on lighting every December. Daddy. Her voice came from her bedroom, small, scared. Nathan set the snow globe carefully on the kitchen counter, tucked the business card Richard had given him into a drawer, locked his car keys in the safe. Then he went to his daughter. Lily was sitting up in bed. Her princess nightgown was twisted. Tears tracked down her cheeks. Hey, Bug. Nathan sat on the edge of her bed. Bad dream. There was a monster. It was pretending to be nice, but it wasn't really nice. It wanted to hurt people. Lily grabbed his hand. You made it go away, though. You always make the monsters go away. Nathan's throat tightened. That's my job, making sure you're safe. Did you have fun at your party? It was interesting. Did your date come? No bug. She couldn't make it. That's mean. You looked really handsome. Lily yawned. Did you meet anyone else? Nathan thought of Victoria, of her fear and bravery and the way she'd kissed him like she was drowning. Yeah, he said softly. I met someone pretty special. Is she nice? Like really nice, not pretend nice. She's really nice, scared right now, but brave. You should help her. You're good at helping people. Nathan smoothed Lily's hair back. I'm trying, sweetheart. Will I meet her? Maybe, if things go well. Lily's eyes were already closing. I hope they do. You should have someone special too, Daddy, not just me. You're all the special I need. But Lily was already asleep, her breathing deep and even. Nathan sat there for a long time, watching his daughter, thinking about Victoria standing alone somewhere preparing to face a monster, thinking about the snow globe on his kitchen counter. At 11:53 p.m., he kissed Lily's forehead, checked the babysitter was comfortable on the couch, grabbed his keys. I have to run out for an hour, he told her quietly. Emergency. The babysitter nodded, used to his irregular hours. Nathan picked up the snow globe, held it carefully. Then he drove toward St. John's Bridge through falling snow. Midnight was coming, and with it the truth. St. John's Bridge rose through the snowfall like a cathedral. Gothic towers reached toward the dark sky. Cathedral Park spread below, buried in white. Nathan parked on the east side, cut the engine. The silence was immediate and complete. 11:58 p.m. He held the snow globe in his lap. The USB drive floated in fake flakes. Tiny, powerful, worth killing for. The bridge was empty. No cars, no pedestrians. Just Christmas lights strung along the railing casting red and green shadows on fresh snow. Nathan got out. Cold air bit his face. His breath formed clouds. He walked to the center of the bridge, stopped, looked both directions. Nothing. His phone showed midnight exactly. He waited. The river below was frozen at the edges. Dark water moved sluggishly in the center, the kind of cold that could kill in minutes. 12:05. Nathan called Victoria's number. Straight to voicemail. Vic, it's me. I'm here. Where are you? 12:10. He tried again. Same result. His chest tightened. She said midnight. She promised. Unless she couldn't come. Unless something went wrong. 12:15. Nathan paced. His shoes left tracks in the snow. Back and forth, back and forth. A car passed, slowed. Nathan's hand went to his pocket, ready to run. But the car kept going. Taillights disappeared into the snow. 12:20. Nathan leaned against the railing, stared at the water, tried to think. Victoria was smart. Careful. The FBI was supposed to be watching. She wouldn't take unnecessary risks. But Richard was careful too, and he'd already killed once. Chapter 25. Minutes. Victoria had said if she wasn't here by 12:30, take the USB to Agent Reeves. Nathan pulled out his phone, Googled FBI Portland Field Office, found an address. His thumb hovered over the call button. Wait, just wait 5 more minutes. 12:28. Movement caught his eye. Something red on the railing 20 feet away. Nathan walked over. A scarf, silk, dark red, the same color as Victoria's dress. It was tied around the railing, deliberately, like a flag. Nathan's blood went cold. He grabbed the scarf. The fabric was expensive, still warm. Then he saw it, on the ground, half buried in snow, a shoe, a single red heel, Louboutin. The same shoes Victoria had been wearing. Nathan picked it up, turned it over. No blood, no signs of struggle. But why would she leave it here? He scanned the bridge, the park below. Nothing moved except falling snow. His phone buzzed. Unknown number. Nathan answered. "Hello, Mr. Cross." The voice was male, unfamiliar. "You're very predictable. Who is this someone who's been watching you all evening? Touching, really. The way you rush to play hero." Nathan's grip tightened on the phone. "Where is she? Safe for now. Depends entirely on your next actions. If you hurt her, threats are unnecessary and ineffective." The voice remained calm, pleasant even. "You have something that belongs to Mr. Harrington. A small USB drive currently hidden in a rather kitschy snow globe." Nathan looked around. No one visible. But they were watching. Had been watching. "I don't know what you're talking about. Mr. Cross, please. We've been following you since you left the hotel. We watched you go home. Kiss your daughter goodnight. Very sweet. Lily, isn't it? 7 years old. Attends Ainsworth Elementary." Nathan's heart stopped. "Don't you dare. Then cooperate. Bring the drive to Warehouse 12, River District. You have 1 hour." "How do I know she's alive?" A pause, rustling, then Victoria's voice, strained but clear. "Nathan, don't. Just take it to the FBI. Don't." The sound of a slap. Victoria cried out. "She's fine," the voice returned. "Spirited. 1 hour, Mr. Cross. Come alone. No police, no FBI. Or we'll find out just how spirited Miss Ashford really is. Understood." The line went dead. Nathan stood frozen. Snow accumulated on his shoulders, the shoe in one hand, phone in the other. They had Victoria. They knew about Lily. They wanted the USB. He had 1 hour. Nathan ran to his car, threw the shoe and scarf in the passenger seat, started the engine. His hands shook on the wheel. Go to the FBI. That was the smart play, the safe play. But Richard's people knew where Lily lived, knew her school. One phone call and his daughter became a target. And Victoria. Whatever they were doing to her right now. Nathan pulled out his phone, stared at it. Then he made a decision that would either save Victoria or get them both killed. He called 911. 911, what's your emergency? I need to speak to FBI agent Sarah Reeves. It's urgent. Tell her it's about Victoria Ashford. Sir, this line is for emergencies. This is an emergency. Tell Agent Reeves that Nathan Cross called. She'll know what it means. A long pause. Please hold. Nathan drove while he waited. Toward downtown. Toward the FBI field office. Away from Warehouse 12. Mr. Cross, a new voice, female, sharp. This is Agent Reeves. They have Victoria. Warehouse 12, River District. They want the USB. Gave me 1 hour. When did this happen? 5 minutes ago. Unknown number. They've been watching me all night. They know where I live. They know about my daughter. Nathan's voice cracked. They said come alone or they'll hurt her. Mr. Cross, where are you now? Driving to you. FBI field office. Good. That's good. Stay on the line. Don't go to that warehouse. They said no police. And if you go alone, they'll kill you both. Reeves' voice was firm. Trust me, Nathan, this is what I do. Nathan white-knuckled the steering wheel. Every instinct screamed to turn around, to trade himself for Victoria. How long have you been working with her? He asked. 2 years. She's the bravest person I've ever met. Reeves paused. Is the USB secure? I have it. Don't let it out of your sight. That's our only leverage. Leverage doesn't help if Victoria's dead. She's not dead. Richard needs her alive. She's the only one who knows where all the bodies are buried, literally. Reeves' tone shifted. We've been tracking Richard's movements. He left the hotel at 11:30, headed to Columbia Tower Observatory. Victoria never showed. She was supposed to meet him there, get a confession. We know. We had agents in place, but she never arrived. We think Richard's people intercepted her en route. Nathan pulled into the FBI building parking lot. I'm here. North entrance, I'll meet you. Agent Sarah Reeves was younger than Nathan expected. Mid-30s. Dark hair pulled back, sharp eyes that missed nothing. She met him at the door with 2 other agents. Inside. Now. They moved to a secure room. Computers, maps, photos of Richard Harrington covering one wall. Nathan set the snow globe on the table. Reeves picked it up carefully. How much is on here? Everything according to Victoria. 2 years of recordings, transactions, communications. We need to verify that, make sure it wasn't compromised. Reeves handed it to a tech agent. Can you decrypt this? Give me 20 minutes. Reeves turned back to Nathan. Tell me exactly what happened, everything. Nathan did. The party, the fake marriage, the balcony confrontation, the parking garage confession, the plan to meet at the bridge. Reeves listened without interrupting, taking notes. The scarf and shoe were staged, she said when he finished. Classic intimidation tactic. Make you think she went into the river. But she didn't. No, if they wanted her dead, we'd have found a body by now. This is about control. Reeves pulled up a map on a computer screen. Warehouse 12 is here. Abandoned paper mill. Been empty for 3 years. Since Victoria's father died. Exactly. Richard owns it through a shell company. We've suspected he uses it for storage. Possibly meetings with distributors. Reeves zoomed in. Only one entrance. No windows on the ground floor. Terrible location for a rescue. But you're going to try? We're going to succeed. Reeves met his eyes. But I need you to stay here, Nathan. Let us handle this. No. Excuse me. She trusted me. Asked me to be there for her. Nathan's jaw set. I'm not sitting in a safe room while she's in danger. You're a civilian. You have a daughter who needs you. My daughter needs me to be the kind of man who shows up when it matters. Nathan leaned forward. I'm not asking permission, Agent Reeves. I'm telling you I'm coming. You can either work with me or work around me. Reeves studied him. You're in love with her. I barely know her. That's not an answer. Nathan thought of Victoria's fear and bravery. The way she'd broken down in his arms. The desperate kiss in the parking garage. I don't know what I am, he said quietly, but I know I won't abandon her. Reeves was quiet for a long moment. Then she nodded. Okay, but you follow orders. You stay behind tactical. And if I say run, you run. Understood? Understood. The tech agent called out, Agent Reeves, you need to see this. They gathered around a computer. Files filled the screen. Thousands of them. It's all here, the tech said. Financial records, voice recordings, even video files. This is... He scrolled through folders. This is enough to bring down half the criminal enterprises in the Pacific Northwest. Reeves smiled grimly. Victoria came through. There's more. The tech opened a video file. This was recorded 3 years ago, December 23rd. The screen showed an office. William Ashford sat behind a desk, looking tired, defeated. Richard Harrington stood across from him. The angle suggested a hidden camera. "You can't do this, William." Richard's voice was cold. "We had an agreement. An agreement to launder money, not to traffic human beings." William's voice shook. "I saw the manifests, Richard. Children. You're moving children. Profitable children. The market. I don't care about the market. This ends now. I've already contacted the FBI." Richard went very still. "You did what? I'm testifying, giving them everything. You're finished." William, you've made a terrible mistake. The only mistake was trusting you." Richard reached into his jacket, pulled out a small bottle. "Do you know what this is?" "I don't care." "Digitalis, extracted from foxglove, beautiful plant, deadly in the right dose." Richard set the bottle on the desk. "Causes cardiac arrest. Mimics a natural heart attack perfectly." William stood. "Get out of my office." "This bottle will be in your coffee tomorrow morning. Or maybe your lunch, or perhaps that scotch you love so much." Richard smiled. "You'll never know when. Never know how. Every meal, every drink could be your last. You're insane. I'm practical. You have 24 hours to change your mind, William. Call off the FBI or die." Richard walked to the door, paused. "Think about Victoria. She'll inherit this company, this mess. She'll spend her life dealing with consequences of your moral crisis. Is that what you want for your daughter?" The video ended. Silence filled the room. "He murdered him," Nathan whispered. "In cold blood. And Victoria's had this recording for 2 years," Reeves said, "waiting for the right moment to use it. Why didn't she come forward sooner?" "Because Richard has insurance, other recordings, other evidence, things that would destroy her father's reputation, make him look complicit." Reeves closed the laptop. Victoria wanted to clear her father's name and take down Richard, both or nothing. Nathan understood. That's why she kept playing along, pretending everything was fine. For 2 years, going to work every day knowing the man who killed her father was investing in her company, smiling at him, acting grateful. Reeves shook her head. "I don't know how she survived it. She survived because she's strong." Nathan stood. "And because she knew eventually she'd get justice. We need to move, now, before Richard realizes what's on that drive." Reeves checked her watch. 1:14 a.m. "We have 46 minutes before your deadline. Tactical team is assembling." 10 minutes later, Nathan sat in a tactical van with 6 FBI agents. Body armor felt heavy on his chest. Earpiece crackled with chatter. "Thermal imaging shows 3 signatures inside the warehouse," a voice reported. "1 stationary, probably restrained. 2 mobile. Victoria and 2 guards." "Where's Richard?" Reeves asked. "No sign. Either he's not there or he's in a shielded room." "He'll be there," Nathan said. "He wouldn't miss this." The warehouse district was dark. Industrial decay wrapped in Christmas lights from distant buildings. The contrast was jarring. Warehouse 12 loomed ahead. 3 stories of brick and broken windows. A single door marked the entrance. The van stopped 2 blocks away. "We go in quiet," Reeves instructed. 2 teams, Alpha through the front, Bravo around back. "Cross, you're with me in support position." Nathan nodded. His mouth was dry. They moved through shadows. Snow muffled footsteps. Nathan's heart hammered against the body armor. Alpha team reached the door. Placed breaching charges. "On my mark," Reeves whispered into her mic. 3, 2, 1. Execute. The door exploded inward. "FBI, show your hands." Agents poured inside. Nathan followed Reeves through the smoking entrance. The warehouse was cavernous. Old machinery created maze-like passages. A single light source glowed ahead, harsh, industrial. Nathan heard voices shouting, then a gunshot. Everyone dropped. Nathan's ears rang. "Contact! Contact!" someone yelled. More gunshots, muzzle flashes in the dark. Reeves grabbed Nathan's arm. "Stay down." She moved forward with her team. Nathan crawled behind shipping containers. His hands shook. Another gunshot, closer, then silence. "Clear, clear. Agent down. Need medical." Nathan's blood ran cold. He peered around a container. Ahead, harsh light illuminated a small clearing. A chair sat in the center. Victoria was tied to it. Blood on her face, her dress torn, but her eyes were fierce, alive. Two men lay on the ground, FBI agents securing them. Richard Harrington stood behind Victoria, gun pressed to her head. "That's far enough," he called out. His voice echoed in the empty space. "Drop your weapons or she dies." Nobody moved. "I said, drop them." Richard's finger tightened on the trigger. "Okay, okay." Reeves set her gun down slowly. Other agents followed. "Nobody needs to die here, Richard. Too late for that. You have something of mine. I want it back. The USB. It's already at FBI headquarters, being downloaded as we speak." Richard smiled. "You're lying. Cross has it. I can see him hiding over there like a coward." All eyes turned to Nathan's position. He stepped out slowly, hands raised. The snow globe was in his jacket pocket. Heavy, incriminating. "There he is," Richard said pleasantly. "The hero. Come closer, Mr. Cross. Let's have a chat." Nathan walked forward. Every step felt like walking through water. Victoria's eyes met his. She shook her head minutely. "Don't." He kept walking. "That's far enough." Richard pressed the gun harder against Victoria's temple. She winced. "Give me the drive." "Let her go first." "Do I look stupid? The drive, now." Nathan pulled the snow globe from his pocket, held it up. Richard laughed. "How appropriate. A perfect little world. Hand it over." "Not until she's safe." "You're not in a position to negotiate." "Neither are you." Nathan's voice was steady despite his terror. "That USB has everything, every crime, every murder, including video of you threatening Victoria's father the night before you killed him." Richard's expression flickered. "You're bluffing." William hid cameras in his office, voice activated. They caught everything. Nathan took a step closer. "You telling him about the digitalis, your 24-hour deadline, every word. That's impossible. I swept that office. Not well enough." Another step. "The FBI has copies, multiple copies. Even if you kill everyone here, you're finished." Victoria's eyes widened. She understood what Nathan was doing, buying time. "Then I have nothing to lose," Richard said coldly. "You have your life. Cooperate and maybe you survive prison. I won't survive a week inside. Too many people want me dead." Richard's grip tightened on the gun. "If I'm going down, I'm taking her with me. Her father took everything from me. Now I'll take everything from him. Her father tried to stop you from trafficking children." Nathan's voice rose. He was trying to do the right thing. "The right thing," Richard laughed bitterly. "There's no right thing, only power, control, survival." "You're wrong." Nathan pulled his pocket watch from his jacket, the one his father had given him. "My dad told me something before he died. He said the measure of a man isn't what he takes, it's what he gives when it costs him everything." He opened the watch, showed the photo of Lily inside. "That's my daughter. She's 7. She thinks I'm a hero." Nathan's voice cracked. "I'm not. I'm just a guy trying to be someone she can be proud of." Richard stared at the photo. Something shifted in his expression. "You want to know what Victoria told me tonight?" Nathan continued. "She said her father was weak, sentimental. But you know what? That weakness saved her, because he loved her more than he loved power, more than he loved safety. He was willing to die to protect children he'd never met." "Shut up. That's not weakness, Richard. That's strength. Real strength." Nathan took another step. "You've spent your whole life taking, controlling, hurting. And where has it gotten you here? Alone, with a gun to the head of the only person who ever tried to understand you." I said, "Shut up." "She told me you two were close once, that you mentored her father, that you were almost family. He betrayed me. He chose innocence over profit. That's not betrayal, that's evolution." Nathan was only 10 feet away now. "You can still choose Richard, right now, this moment. Let her go. Face justice, or pull that trigger and prove you're exactly the monster her father said you were." Richard's hand trembled. The gun shook against Victoria's head. "I can't go to prison. You don't understand what they'll do to me." "Then don't go to prison. End this your way." Nathan held out his hand. "Give me the gun. Walk away, disappear. You're smart enough to vanish. They'll hunt me. Maybe, but you'll be alive. You'll have a chance." Nathan's voice softened. "Isn't that what you've always fought for, survival?" For a long moment nobody moved. Snow fell through holes in the roof. Soft, relentless. Richard's eyes were wet. "I never meant... William was my friend. He was... I know. I just wanted him to understand, to see reason. I know. But he wouldn't listen. He wouldn't..." Richard's voice broke. The gun lowered slightly. Victoria moved fast. She threw her weight sideways. The chair tipped. Richard stumbled. Nathan lunged forward, grabbed Richard's wrist, twisted. The gun fired. The bullet hit concrete, ricocheted. They fell together, Nathan on top, fighting for control of the weapon. FBI agents swarmed in. Someone yanked Richard away, cuffed him. Nathan rolled over, gasping. His ears rang from the gunshot. Hands pulled him up. "Reeves. You okay?" Yeah, I'm fine." Victoria was struggling against the ropes. Agents cut her free. She stood on shaky legs, looked around wildly. "Nathan, I'm here." She ran to him, collapsed against his chest, sobbing. Nathan held her, one hand in her hair, the other around her waist, anchoring her. "You came," she whispered. "You actually came." "Of course I came. He could have killed you. But he didn't." Nathan pulled back to look at her face, blood from a cut above her eyebrow, bruises forming on her cheek. "But alive, safe. You fought back. Bought us time. I learned from the best." She smiled through tears. "Thank you for the watch story, for stalling him, for being exactly who I needed." Nathan touched her face gently. "Partners remember 18 months of marriage. We look out for each other." Victoria laughed, actually laughed. The sound was broken but real. Around them, FBI agents secured the scene. Richard sat in handcuffs. Defeated. Empty. Reeves approached. "We need statements. Hospital for Ms. Ashford. Long night ahead." "I know." Victoria straightened, wiped her eyes. But first, she walked over to Richard. He looked up at her, no fight left. "Why?" Victoria's voice was quiet. "Why couldn't you just let him go?" Richard was silent for a long moment. "Because I loved him like a brother, and brothers don't betray each other." "He wasn't betraying you. He was saving you. From yourself." "I know that now." Richard's voice was barely a whisper. "Too late, but I know." Victoria crouched down, eye level with the man who'd killed her father, who'd terrorized her for years. "I forgive you," she said softly. Richard's eyes widened. "What? I forgive you? Not because you deserve it, because I deserve to be free of this hatred." She stood. "My father would want me to move on, to live, so that's what I'm going to do." She walked back to Nathan, took his hand. "Let's go home." Part 5. The morning after dawn broke over the river district in shades of pink and gold. Snow had stopped falling. The world looked clean, new. Nathan sat on the warehouse loading dock wrapped in a thermal blanket. EMTs had checked him over. No injuries, just adrenaline crash and exhaustion. Victoria sat beside him. A bandage covered the cut above her eyebrow. Bruises darkened her cheekbone. An EMT had wanted her to go to the hospital. She'd refused. "Just cold," she'd said, and tired. Now they sat in silence, watching FBI agents photograph evidence. Load Richard Harrington into a police car. He didn't look dangerous anymore, just old. Broken. "He's really going to prison," Victoria said quietly. "For the rest of his life. Does that feel like justice? It feels like closure." She pulled the blanket tighter. "I thought I'd feel triumphant, vindicated, but I just feel tired." "You've been carrying this weight for 2 years. It'll take time to remember what normal feels like." Victoria leaned her head on his shoulder. The gesture was natural now, no pretending. "What happens to the company?" Nathan asked. "Investigation, audit, probably months of legal proceedings." She sighed. "But we'll survive. Dad built something real underneath all of Richard's poison. It's still there. You'll rebuild. We'll see. Might be time for a fresh start, new name, new direction." She looked up at him. "Depends on a lot of things." "Like what?" "Like whether a certain editor would consider moving from crime fiction to media consulting." Nathan raised an eyebrow. "Is that a job offer?" "It's a possibility, if you're interested." "I might be, depending on the benefits package." Victoria smiled. The first real smile since the bridge. Excellent benefits. Health insurance. Retirement plan. A boss who thinks you're extraordinary. Extraordinary is a strong word. You talked down an armed murderer with a pocket watch and a story about your daughter. Extraordinary seems accurate. Nathan looked at the watch. He'd retrieved it from the warehouse floor. The glass was cracked, but the photo of Lily was intact. "I need to get home," he said. "Lily will be waking up soon. She'll want to open presents." "Of course, go." Victoria started to stand. Nathan caught her hand. "Come with me." She froze. "Nathan, I know it's fast. I know we barely know each other. But Lily's been asking about you since last night, and He stopped, started again. "I'd like you there, if you want to be." "I'm a mess. I have FBI statements, legal meetings. The press will be all over this by noon. All of that can wait 2 hours. Come have breakfast. Terrible coffee. Probably burned cinnamon rolls. A 7-year-old who'll interrogate you like a detective." Victoria laughed. The sound was fragile but real. "Why would you want that chaos in your Christmas morning?" "Because last night you asked me to dinner if this worked. I'm just moving the timeline up." Nathan stood, pulled her to her feet. Real date, real life. No more pretending. "What if Lily doesn't like me?" "Lily has excellent taste. She picked out this shirt." He gestured at the rumpled, blood-spattered blue button-down. "Well, it looked better yesterday." "It looks perfect to me." Agent Reeves approached. Her expression was serious, but her eyes were kind. "Ms. Ashford, we'll need you downtown by noon for a formal statement, but you're free until then." "Thank you, Sarah, for everything." Thank me by taking care of yourself. Real care, not just pushing through. Reeves looked at Nathan. You too, Mr. Cross. What you did in there was brave and incredibly stupid. I've been told I have a problem with boundaries. Keep that problem. The world needs more people willing to cross lines for the right reasons. She handed him a card. Call me if you remember anything else, or if you need anything. Witness protection, security, whatever. Nathan pocketed the card. I think we'll be okay. I think you will too. They walked to Nathan's car through melting snow. Christmas lights still twinkled on distant buildings. The city was waking up, unaware that a monster had been caught while they slept. Victoria stopped at the passenger door. I should warn you, I'm not good at this. At what? Normal, family, the casual intimacy of breakfast and conversation. She looked down. I've spent 2 years performing, pretending. I'm not sure I remember how to be real. Nathan opened the door. Then we'll figure it out together. No performance, just us. Just us? She repeated, like testing the words. They drove through quiet streets. Portland on Christmas morning was peaceful, empty. Tell me about Lily, Victoria said. Really tell me, not the work stories. Nathan smiled. She's fierce, independent, reads at a 5th grade level but still believes in Santa Claus. She refuses to wear matching socks because she says life's too short for boring feet. I like her already. She has opinions on everything. Which cereal is morally superior? Why purple is scientifically the best color? She once spent an hour explaining why fairy tale stepmothers get a bad reputation. What was her conclusion? That the real villains are the fathers who remarry without asking their kids first. She takes family structure very seriously. Victoria was quiet. Does she want you to remarry? She wants me to be happy. Says I smile more when I'm talking about work lately. Nathan glanced over. Started about 2 months ago. 2 months ago, I reassigned you to the Riverside project. We had that meeting where you pushed back on my timeline. You respected it, changed the deadline, said quality mattered more than speed. Nathan's voice softened. That's when I started noticing you were different than people said. What do people say? That you're ice, ruthless, the CEO who never blinks. And what did you think? That you were scared and lonely and trying so hard to be strong that you forgot to be human. Victoria's breath caught. You saw that in one meeting, I'm an editor. I read subtext. Your emails are always perfectly professional, but the ones you send at 2 a.m. have different punctuation, more hesitation, like you're tired of pretending too. I had no idea anyone paid that much attention. I pay attention to things that matter. They pulled up to Nathan's apartment building. Modest, 3 stories, Christmas wreaths on every door. Victoria stared at it. This is real life. Is that okay? It's perfect. Inside, the babysitter was asleep on the couch. Nathan paid her double. Holiday rates plus hazard pay for the emergency. She left with a yawn and Christmas wishes. The apartment was quiet, warm. A crooked Christmas tree stood in the corner, lights blinking, presents messily wrapped underneath. Daddy! Lily's voice came from her bedroom, soft, sleepy. I'm home, Bug. Did you fix the emergency? Yeah, I fixed it. Good. A pause. Can I have hot chocolate? Nathan looked at Victoria. She looked terrified. In a minute, he called back. Get dressed first. He turned to Victoria, spoke quietly. You can still leave, no judgment. This is a lot. I don't want to leave. Lily's going to ask 1,000 questions. I know. And she's brutally honest. If she thinks your outfit is weird, she'll tell you. My outfit is weird. It's a torn evening gown at 6 a.m. Nathan pulled off his jacket, handed it to her. Not anymore. Victoria slipped it on. It swallowed her. She looked younger, vulnerable. Better, she asked. Perfect. Lily appeared in the hallway, princess nightgown, hair in tangles. She stopped dead when she saw Victoria. Who's that? Nathan crouched to her level. Remember, I told you about my boss, the pretty lady from the party. Lily studied Victoria with intense concentration. You're the one who needed help. I was. Your dad helped me. He's good at that, helping. Lily moved closer. Suspicious. Are you going to stay for breakfast? If that's okay with you. Do you like hot chocolate? I love hot chocolate. With marshmallows or without with. Definitely with. Lily nodded. Apparently, this was the correct answer. Okay, you can stay, but you have to help make cinnamon rolls. Daddy always burns them. Hey, Nathan protested. That was 1 time. 3 times, Lily corrected. She looked at Victoria seriously. Can you cook? Terribly. I'm probably worse than your dad. Lily grinned. Then we'll all burn them together. Nathan's heart swelled. His daughter. Accepting a stranger into their Christmas morning with the easy grace only children possessed. They moved to the kitchen. Nathan started coffee. Victoria found the cinnamon roll dough in the fridge. Lily directed operations from a stool at the counter. You have to roll them tight, not loose. Loose ones fall apart. Victoria rolled them carefully. Her hands shook slightly. From exhaustion or nerves, Nathan couldn't tell. Your hands are shaky, Lily observed. Are you sick? Just tired, sweetheart. You should have slept more. That's what Daddy always tells me. Your dad is very smart. I know. He reads books like 1,000,000 pages long, with tiny words. Lily leaned closer. Did someone hurt you? You have a Band-Aid. Victoria touched the bandage. I had an accident, but I'm okay now. Did Daddy save you? He saves people sometimes. Like a superhero, but without a cape. He did save me. He was very brave. Were you scared? Very scared. But you're safe now. Daddy doesn't let bad things happen to people he likes. Victoria's eyes met Nathan's. Something passed between them. Unspoken, but understood. You're right, Victoria said softly. I am safe now. The cinnamon rolls went in the oven. They did in fact burn, just a little. See, Lily said triumphantly. I told you. They scraped off the worst parts and drowned them in icing. Sat at the small kitchen table with mismatched mugs of hot chocolate. Can I open presents now? Lily asked. After breakfast. But I can see them from here, and they're calling me. Presents don't call Bug. These ones do. They're very loud. Nathan laughed. Fine, but eat something first. Lily demolished a cinnamon roll in 4 bites, then she was off. Diving under the tree. Victoria watched with an expression Nathan couldn't quite read. Longing mixed with something else. Fear, maybe. You okay? He asked quietly. I've never had this. A real Christmas morning, with family. It's chaotic, beautiful. She wiped her eyes quickly. Sorry. I'm being ridiculous. You're being human. There's a difference. Lily emerged with an armful of presents. Started tearing into them with enthusiasm. Books, art supplies. A stuffed dragon she immediately named Sir Pounce-a-Lot. This one's for you. She handed Victoria a small wrapped box. Victoria stared at it. Lily, you don't have to. It's my extra one. Everyone should have a present on Christmas. Nathan hadn't known Lily had wrapped an extra gift. His daughter's capacity for kindness never ceased to amaze him. Victoria opened it carefully. Inside was a snow globe, cheap plastic from a dollar store. A snowman inside. Daddy says snow globes are like wishes, Lily explained. You shake them and hope things get better. Victoria held the globe like it was made of crystal. Her hands trembled. Thank you, she whispered. It's the most beautiful gift I've ever received. Really, it only cost like $3. Really? Nathan watched Victoria shake the globe gently, watched fake snow swirl around the plastic snowman, watched her face as she made a wish. He wondered what she was wishing for. An hour later, Lily had crashed. Sugar rush followed by inevitable collapse. She lay on the couch wrapped in blankets, watching a Christmas movie with heavy-lidded eyes. Nathan and Victoria sat at the kitchen table. Fresh coffee. Comfortable silence. Your phone's been buzzing, Victoria said. I know. Probably reporters, maybe FBI. Nathan didn't reach for it. It can wait. The real world's coming back. It never left. We just borrowed a few hours. Victoria traced the rim of her mug. What happens now? Legally, I have no idea. Your company, the investigation, all of that's beyond my expertise. I meant with us. Nathan set down his cup. What do you want to happen? Something real. Messy and imperfect and real. She looked at him. But I come with baggage. Company scandals, media attention, legal proceedings that'll take months, maybe years. I come with a 7-year-old who thinks purple is scientifically superior to all other colors, and an ex-wife who calls every 3 months to complain about my parenting choices, and a career that pays okay but not great. Sounds complicated. Sounds real. Victoria smiled. I've never done real before. Not like this. Neither have I. Not since... Nathan gestured vaguely. Since everything fell apart. We're both disasters. Yeah, but maybe disasters work better in pairs. Is that what this is? A partnership? I don't know what this is. Nathan reached across the table, took her hand. But I'd like to find out. If you want to. I want to. Victoria's voice was certain. I'm terrified, but I want to. Good, terrified, or bad terrified. The kind that means something matters. The kind worth being scared about. From the living room came Lily's sleepy voice. Are you guys talking about kissing? Because if you're going to kiss, I should warn you. I'm awake, and I can see everything. Nathan laughed. Go to sleep, bug. Can't. Too much sugar, and this movie's really good. Victoria was blushing. She's very observant. Family trait, apparently. Daddy, Lily called. Is Victoria going to be your girlfriend? Nathan looked at Victoria, raised an eyebrow. Is she... Victoria faltered. I don't know the rules for this. Is there a timeline, a proper way to... There's no rules, just what feels right. Then yes. Victoria squeezed his hand. If you want me to be, I absolutely want you to be. Yay! Lily cheered from the couch. We have a girlfriend. Can she come for New Year's too? One holiday at a time, Nathan said, but he was smiling. So was Victoria. At 11:45, Victoria's phone started buzzing. Reality reasserting itself. FBI, lawyers, crisis management team. I should go, she said reluctantly. Face the media, give statements, start damage control. You need to sleep first. I'll sleep later, after... She gestured helplessly at the impossible task ahead. Nathan stood. At least let me drive you home. You can't face all that alone. I've been alone for 2 years. I know how to handle it. That was before. Now you have backup. Victoria looked at him. really looked. "You'd do that, come with me. Partners remember for better or worse. We've been fake married less than 12 hours. Felt longer, in a good way." Lily appeared, rubbing her eyes. "Are you leaving?" "I have to," Victoria said. "But I'll come back, if you want me to." "When? How about New Year's Eve? We can watch the fireworks." "Promise, I promise." Lily hugged Victoria's legs. Hard. "Okay, but you have to bring chocolate. The good kind, not the gross, healthy kind Daddy buys." "Deal." Nathan walked Victoria to the door. They stood in the hallway, alone for the first time since the warehouse. "Thank you," Victoria said, "for showing up, for being exactly who you are, for not running when things got dangerous. Thank you for trusting me, for letting me in, for being brave enough to take down a monster." "We took him down together." "Yeah, we did." Victoria kissed him, soft, sweet, full of promise. When she pulled away, she was smiling. "I'll call you later, after everything. When I can breathe again. I'll be here." "I know you will. That's what makes you different." She walked away, stopped at the elevator, turned back. "Nathan." "Yeah. Merry Christmas." "Merry Christmas, Vic." The elevator doors closed. She was gone. Nathan stood in the hallway for a long moment. The pocket watch was heavy in his jacket. The cracked glass caught the light. He opened it, looked at Lily's photo, made a promise to himself and to his daughter. Whatever came next, whatever challenges Victoria faced, whatever media storms or legal battles or corporate restructuring, they'd face it together. No more pretending, no more performing. Just real life, messy and complicated and absolutely worth fighting for. He went back inside. Lily was waiting on the couch. "Do you love her?" she asked, direct as always. "I don't know yet, Bug. It's only been one night. But you could love her, maybe. Maybe. Good." Lily snuggled into the blankets. She needs someone to love her. She looks sad, even when she smiles. "You're very observant." "I know. It's my superpower." She yawned. "Daddy, yeah, this was the best Christmas ever." Nathan looked around the apartment. Torn wrapping paper, burned cinnamon rolls, coffee cups on every surface. Complete chaos. "Yeah," he said softly. It really was. He sat beside his daughter, pulled her close. Together they watched the Christmas movie until Lily fell asleep. Outside, snow started falling again. Soft, gentle, covering the world in white. Nathan's phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. "Made it home. FBI statement starting soon. Missing your terrible coffee already. Thank you for this morning. For Lily, for everything. See you at midnight on New Year's. Don't forget the chocolate. V." Nathan smiled. Typed back, "Wouldn't miss it. Stay safe. N." 3 dots appeared. "Then I will. I have reasons to now." Nathan set the phone down. Looked at the snow globe Lily had given Victoria. It sat on the kitchen counter where she'd left it. He picked it up, shook it gently. Watched fake snow swirl around the plastic snowman. Made his own wish. For Victoria's safety, for justice, for second chances and real love and Christmas mornings that felt like home. For the courage to show up, again and again, no matter how scary it got. Because that's what mattered. Not the perfect story, not the flawless performance. Just showing up, being present, choosing each other every single day. The movie ended. Credits rolled. Lily snored softly against his shoulder. Nathan closed his eyes. The pocket watch ticked in his jacket. Steady, reliable. a reminder that time kept moving forward, toward whatever came next. Together. Outside Portland woke fully, a city going about its Christmas day, unaware that something extraordinary had happened in the dark hours before dawn, that love had shown up wearing body armor and carrying a snow globe, that justice had been served with burned cinnamon rolls and terrible coffee, that sometimes the best Christmas gifts weren't wrapped in paper and bows. Sometimes they were wrapped in courage and trust and the willingness to risk everything for someone who needed saving. And sometimes, if you were very lucky, they saved you right back. Nathan held his daughter close, thought about Victoria facing down reporters and lawyers and the wreckage of her father's legacy. She wasn't alone anymore. None of them were. And that, in the end, was the only gift that mattered.